evening. Good evening. This is the City of Harvey Council meeting. Today is Monday, March 10th, 2025. It is 7:06 p.m. If all the persons would mark themselves, council members would mark themselves present. We have a quorum. The next item on the agenda is invocation, pledge of allegiance. Pastor Harrison, would you be so kind?
Yes. We come to the Lord. Father, we thank you tonight. We give you praise and we glorify you. We thank you for your grace, your love, your kindness, and your provision. God, we thank you for just allowing us to be here another day. You've kept us and you've covered us. God, we thank you for your protection. And you're a good God. God, we honor you on tonight. We ask that you look upon this city, look upon our leadership, look upon the growth of this community. And Father, we pray that you would have your way even in this council session tonight. Let us hear each other. Let us to see what we need to see, God. And you get glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Jesus. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The next item is item number 4A, Police Department swearing in ceremony. Chief, would you be so kind?
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, council members, and residents, I'm pleased to introduce you 15 new hires for the Harvey Police Department. 13 recruits have successfully passed the entry-level police examination, while the other 2 are experienced law enforcement professionals who recently joined our force from other agencies. We see this group as a new generation for the Harvey Police Department. As we continue our mission to become a premier policing agency, my team and I have returned to the basic root of our policing strategy. What you see in the Harvey Police Department aims to reflect those qualities you would associate with the Illinois State Police, the Cook County Sheriff's Police, and other top-tier law enforcement agencies within the region. We intend to operate under a paramilitary organization structure, and we want our residents to see and understand that just as much of this we do. With that said, please please join us in welcoming these new officers to the City of Harvey and the Harvey Police Department. Sorry,
Left, Roy. Hard time. March. Left, Roy. Left, Roy. Left, Roy. Left, Roy. Detail. Who? Roy. Hey. Stand by. Officers. Mayor Clark.
Mayor Clark,
Alderman.
Alderman,
And citizens of Harvey. Your officers.
Madam Clerk, you can please start the program.
Okay, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Aye.
Having been appointed to the office of police officer
The office of police officer
in the city of Harvey,
in the city of Harvey,
in the county of Cook,
in the county of Cook,
aforesaid,
aforesaid,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the state of Illinois,
of the state of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of police officer
of the office of police officer
in the city of Harvey,
in the city of Harvey,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
So we do ask, if anyone wants to take photos with your family, please step out to the vestibule area because we are going to continue the meeting forward. But please step out there. You can take whatever photos or outside. Thank you.
And thank you and welcome again to the city of Harvey.
Sergeant Wright.
Sky? Edward? Brendan? Nishai? Did I pronounce that right? Yeah. Dominique? Elizabeth? Johnny? Barack? Elias? April? James? James? James Buckley? Oh. Kevin? Brandon? Stephanie? Congratulations again, everyone.
Sergeant Wright.
Tail. Right. Forward, punch. Arrow forward. Arrow forward. Arrow forward.
They can also go into like the area where water bills are paid as well, to give them a little bit more room and use the downstairs area also. All right. So next item on the agenda is automatic reports. His automatic reports, we will start with the chair will recognize the fourth ward.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here on such a beautiful day. I want to commend the officers and the mayor and the council, administration, for adding these new officers. And it's just in time for the summer because we sure gonna need it. So I just want to just let you know that I appreciate that. So in addition to that, I'd like to just start off with I'm looking for certain goals that I want to see because I want to see that a cleaner city. I'm still waiting on my alderman expenses, which I haven't received since, should have been in July sometime. We're in the next year. Can't get an explanation as to why, but some of the things that I would want to spend on is getting new garbage cans on the corners, to help keep the city clean. If anybody's familiar, we have a digital sign on 147th and Sibley that says, "Welcome to Harvey." It's a digital sign that hasn't been working in years. I would like to see that fixed and add flags and everything around that and make a nice little memorial just to help beautify the city. Once again, thank you for everything, and that's about it. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Next is the Sixth Ward.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I'd like to say good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. You all I'm glad to see you all, and I know you all are glad to be here as well. I'm happy about the massive turnout at my Sixth Ward Town Hall meeting. And there were a lot of residents from the city that came out and voiced their opinions and concerns. Our breakfast was served, and there were lots of gifts raffled off, and the mayor was so gracious to attend, and he did a presentation that was just incredible with a piece of paper. Mayor, you're gonna have to do it again sometime, because it was just the most interesting thing that I've ever seen, and people still talking about it. Police chief was here, and he had an opportunity, he was very instrumental in answering questions in regards to what their statistic maneuvers and strategic plans are for this summer and the safety of the residents here in the city of Harvey. And I also like to commend the Harvey Street Department for a job well done, as well as the mayor administrative office, because there was a hole that one of my residents in the alley that had been complaining about. And actually, it wasn't a pothole. This thing was pretty big. And it wasn't the first time that it was repaired. About 3-4 years ago, it was repaired, but it fell in again. And for the past few months, I'm happy to say, I'm ecstatic to say, because I get a phone call once a week. And this particular resident, her name is Sister Joanne, and she's funny. She said, "Alderman, you said you was gonna get this hole fixed, but you didn't tell me what year you were gonna get it fixed." So I shared that with the mayor, and it was taken care of immediately after that. And kudos goes out to the street department and everybody involved in helping to make it nice over in the Sixth Ward. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is the Second Ward.
Greetings, Second Ward in the city of Harvey. First, happy Women's History Month. Today, we honor the legacy and heroism of Harriet Tubman, who passed away on this day, March 10, 1913. Her courage and unwavering commitment to freedom continues to inspire us all. I'd also like to extend my congratulations to the newly sworn in officers of the Harvey Police Department. Your dedication to serving our community is invaluable, and we look forward to working alongside you to ensure a safer, stronger city for all. This Friday, March 14th, we will have our second board meeting, both online and in person, at 6 p.m. at 15446 South Lexington. I encourage all residents to join us and engage in the important discussions that will shape the future of our ward. Now, residents, I must ask you, where in America or anywhere in the world do you know the purchase price before making a purchase? It's a deplorable business practice to agree to reimburse someone for something without knowing the full cost up front, especially when it comes to demolishing the home. Beyond demolition, we still haven't seen a clear breakdown of the bills and the receipts. This lack of transparency is unacceptable and must be addressed immediately. I'd like to echo Fourth Ward Alderman Tracy Key. At our last meeting, Mayor Clark, you mentioned the Kobe Chapman funds, using the Kobe Chapman funds. I'd like to remind you that I've already spent over 19,000 of those funds, which were approved for reimbursement on June 8, 2023, yet these funds are still being withheld from Second Ward residents. These aren't my funds, nor are they yours. They belong to the ward, and it's only right that we be reimbursed equitably as other wards have received theirs. Since April 2nd of 2023, the Kobe Chapman Fund opened a Second Ward office for all residents of Harvey and the Second Ward, providing a space for residents to voice their concerns and discuss ideas. We've hired 7 City of Harvey Thornton High School students as paid interns, hosted 26 ward meetings, organized 42 community events, and collaborated with over 100 organizations and agencies to provide events for youth, family, and seniors. Lastly, Alderperson Smith, you often raise your voice loudly and wrongly. A prime example of this was your lack of understanding of the Robert's Rules of Order at our last meeting. This behavior reflects poorly on the chamber and disrupts the decorum we should maintain. While age is no qualifier of maturity, the residents of the 3rd Ward have entrusted you with a responsibility. It's either the time to step up to the plate or step aside and stop focusing on me so intently, Alderwoman Chapman. Thank you, 2nd Ward and City of Harvey. So ends my report. See you on Friday at our board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair recognizes the 3rd Ward.
Good evening, everyone. I want to first thank the Streets Department. You've done really well this winter with keeping the city really neat and looking appropriate for us. I also like to thank the city employees, as you guys are doing really a good job. You know, you are appreciated. Spring cleaning for the 3rd Ward is between April 7th and April 10th. Please check your city website for acceptable items as well as prohibited and special items. The next Harvey Home Ownership Workshop is scheduled for Saturday, March 29th from 10 to noon here at the City Council. Please plan to attend if you are looking to be a homeowner/resident, as you do want to be a part of what the new things are coming in for Harvey. There's a new time coming now. We have a lot going on with what's going on in our country. We all know this is a very serious time. This is not the time for us to be bickering, fighting with each other, because what's to come, that we don't know what's going to come. We better be prepared for it. But see, we're so focused on what shouldn't be focused on, instead of focusing on putting our city together so it's stable and that we can take care of one another. Be sustainable. We're already behind, 10, 20 years behind, because we've been cheated out of our money for a long time. So that makes us really be behind. We won't be prepared as some other cities. So rather than bickering on you did this and you did that and the grandstanding, we should be focusing all of their energy and attention on getting our city on its feet so that whatever comes or whatever's coming, we are prepared. Because the end times may be coming more quicker than what we're thinking. And if we're not prepared because we're so focused on what shouldn't be focused on. I won't address anyone because I've been called out my name, been called goofy. Right, age don't have anything to do with it because we should still respect our elders no matter what we feel about each other. I don't call nobody out of their names. That's time I have my identity. I've tried to be professional when I sit here because I am a professional and I am an adult at the end of the day and I have kids at some of these people's ages. So my kid, no matter what, they're not gonna go out here and be disrespectful to nobody, not even the police, because they've been trained as kids. So again, let's focus on getting this city together the way it needs to be, with grocery stores, getting our money in so we can sustain it in a better situation. Thank you and have a great night.
Thank you. The chair recognizes the 1st Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I just want to echo the sentiments of Alderperson Smith. Our 1st Ward cleanup is also on the 7th and the 10th. Please check the City of Harvey website. But I will also be doing a robocall indicating when to put it out. At least I am so grateful it's not the day after Easter. Normally for the last 3 years, we've been the day after Easter, so I'm really pleased with that. So it is the 7th and the 10th. Any items you need to put it in front of your house cannot be put in your alley. If you put it in the alley, it will remain there. Also, with spring ahead, the 1st Ward is looking for or seeking new volunteers to help with our annual ward cleanup, where we take a block or a building and we paint it and clean it up and remove the trees. So if anyone's interested, please reach out to me. We have a team already in place, but we can always use more people. 708-596-7470. Also, I want to remind people that now that hopefully the snow is forever for this year, left us. People are parking in the alley, and you cannot park your cars in the alley. I know a few of my residents in the first ward had their vehicles removed, and it's not like they weren't forewarned, and hopefully we will get more because they are blocking other people from getting out of the alleys. You are also responsible for cleaning the alley around your house. So if you have a property and the alley is full of debris, that is your responsibility as a homeowner or a renter to kind of clean it up, especially if we're not using garbage bags. And I do have that in the section of my ward where people do not use the garbage bags, and when the wind picks up or the storm, it gets blown around. So let's be mindful of that. And I say God bless those 15 new officers, and may we all offer our support. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is public comment. Public comment is encouraged and appreciated. This is the only opportunity for the public to address the city council on agenda items and any other city-related business. In order to accomplish all business on the agenda and be respectful of everyone's time, council members will not engage in dialogue with individual members of the audience, and no immediate action will be taken on any public comment issue. Please limit your comments to 30 minutes. No speaker may donate his or her time to another speaker. Comments shall be courteous and respectful at all times. No person may use public comment for the purpose of campaign or advertisement. This is not a question and answer time, and council cannot engage in conversation with the public. Questions and concerns about operations should be addressed with city staff during regular business hours. Excuse me. Okay, it's a lucky day for everyone. First public comment is Chappelle Close.
Hello, everybody. Well, yeah, that's a nice thing to see more officers sworn in. I hope that they will be on the streets instead of inside of these chambers when we have city hall meetings. But I have a concern about myself. I hope y'all don't think that I scare easy or I embarrass easy or I got tough skin. And I feel like anything that's public comment is public comment. I mean, public knowledge is public knowledge. And if it's something you can look up and you find, okay, that's fine. I don't care, post it, tell everybody, I don't care. They can call and do party line calls, I don't care. But when y'all posting these wanted posts about who y'all want, who's wanted with the police department, start posting some of these captured. Who have y'all captured? You got a lot of these people around here that's been murdered, their families have not received resolution. Y'all haven't even looked or even found these murders. But you posting about people that's been in shootings or whatever, wanted. When y'all gonna catch them? Them the ones I wanna see. I saw that my son's on there. Wanted for what? Weapons? What type of weapon did he have? A bat? A spoon, a knife, fork? What did he have? They're very vague. So if you wanna, post something, be more detailed. So if somebody wants to turn someone in, they can turn them in and have a reason, because I have no problem. Look at y'all records. I called on that. So if they doing something out there, and you catch them. They grown. They should be able to take it. But don't think you're doing it and posting it trying to embarrass me or trying to hurt me. I'm transparent. I have no problem with being upfront and open. So if there's anything that y'all need to get off your chest, get it off your chest. Do what you do. Because trust me, I ain't no Kurt.
Thank you. Thank you. Next up is Cheryl. Somebody give Ms. Sharif a microphone, please.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mayor Clark, all the persons. My name is Edgar Sharif, and I don't really have a whole lot to say. Just as I was coming here this evening, I saw how nice the streets of 154th look. You ride down as smooth as glass, and I just love that. So we're just getting all the stores getting here, and just keep on making Harvey great. That's all I can say. Bye.
Thank you. And then public comment. Next up is departmental reports. And as usual, we will start first with our wonderful city administrator, Corinne Davis.
Good evening, everyone. Today I wanted to share some exciting news and updates on several key initiatives and their current statuses. First, I'm pleased to report that we have submitted over $58 million worth of grant applications. We have successfully secured approximately $30 million worth of grant awards. These funds are vital for changing our community and addressing the various needs. It's important to remember that each one of the awarded grants come with specific guidelines that must be followed to ensure we can access the funds. So once the grants are awarded, we just don't receive the funds outright. Many of these grants are reimbursable and require quarterly reporting that tracks our progress through multiple years. The lead service line replacement is a statewide issue and is an issue in the city of Harvey. We're attempting to address the matter sooner than later. We've received several technical assistance grants to inventory all of lead service lines throughout the city. We are currently applying for funding to actually replace the lead service lines. To be clear, the technical assistance only allows us to track what lead service lines are in the city. It does not allow us to replace them. So we have to do some upfront work before we can get to the replacing part, the good part. In terms of infrastructure, I'd like to highlight the ongoing reconstruction of 154th. As you see, crews are back out. The project is about 85% complete because they are working to finish the outstanding tasks, including the rain gardens. So you'll see planters into the rain gardens this spring. We've also moved grant funding forward with the following projects. We have a number of projects, so I won't go into detail about each one of the projects, but I will briefly describe them. This is not a a full list. It's an example of a lot of grants that we have currently. The fire hydrant replacement project is going out to bid. That's a $400,000 project. It's a $2.6 million Broadway reconstruction project to reconstruct Broadway Avenue right in front of City Hall. We have a $1.5 million water meter replacement initiative, which we spoke about previously, which we need to go out to bid for, and that's where the status is of that particular grant. We have a $1.1 million blight reduction project that's underway as well. The site assessment has been completed, and we have to go through a number of assessments prior to us getting to the conclusion of that project. We have a $1.5 million assessment of 147th Street lights. They are currently being assessed. After the assessment, we'll start with the replacement work that will be completed this year. And I'm sure the fire chief is going to tell you about the $500,000 fire truck that it's on its way. Additionally, we've been awarded $625,000 for COPS hiring grant, which is allowing us to pay the salaries of these fine folks that you just see here today. Looking ahead, we are actively applying for more grants to further support the city's development. Our application for 157th Street Phase 1 design is in progress. We're pursuing a county regional grant, IEPA, state revolving fund, and green infrastructure fund grants. In conclusion, these initiatives reflect commitment to improving our city and ensuring better quality of life for our residents. That is my report.
Thank you very much. And next, we have the police department.
Mayor, council members, and residents. Today I want to share some information and data on specific crime stats with you. The Harvey Police Department has observed an overall decrease of 23% in crime since 2023. Specifically, there has been a significant decrease in burglaries by 78%, dropping from 275 in 2020 to 61 in 2024. With only 15 reported to date. The number of robberies has decreased by 76% from 80 in 2023 to 19 in 2024, with 2 reported so far this year. Our fatal accidents have also been reduced by 30%, with 10 accidents in 2023, 7 in 2024, and 1 that's been reported so far this year. Despite this progress, there has been a 10% increase in shots fired incidents, rising from 411 in 2023 to 251. Despite this progress, there has been a 10% increase in shots fired incidents, rising from 411 in 2023 to 451 in 2024. To date, we are currently at 21. We are confident that our citywide gunshot protection will continue to allow for rapid identification and response to such incidents. Our crime mapping data has also enabled us to strategically deploy officers in our surveillance trailers in high-risk areas to prevent this type of crime. Despite what some may say, there has been a significant decrease in homicides by 60%, from 31 homicides in 2020 to 9 in 2024, with 2 so far this year that were isolated incidents and no threats to the public. Our investigations division has already identified persons of interest, and in one of these cases, with warrants issued for their arrest, and they are actively working to identify the suspect in the second case. I do want to mention that we've started using our TIP application and social media platforms to share wanted posters and information. You can submit anonymous tips by texting the keyword HPD, and your tip to 847-411. Again, you can submit anonymous tips by texting the keyword HPD and your tip to 847-411, or you can email crimetips@cityofharveyil.gov. Lastly, I would like to briefly touch on the establishment of a real-time crime center within our law enforcement agency. The primary mission of our real-time crime center is to leverage various technologies to enhance policing efforts, enabling our officers to respond swiftly and effectively to crimes in progress or recently occurred incidents. As some of you may have noticed, the city has begun deploying a citywide surveillance camera program in recent weeks, featuring 4K cameras with artificial intelligence strategically placed throughout the city of Harvey. These cameras were secured through funds from the AG's organized retail crime grant program by centralizing our technology, including dash cameras, license plate readers, mobile surveillance trailers, gunshot detection, and now surveillance cameras. We will significantly enhance our ability to respond effectively to criminal activity in real time. With the aid of advanced technologies, the Harvey Police Department has already begun to improve our operational intelligence, which now aids us in responding to crime events strategically as we prioritize officer, citizen, and community safety. Our mission remains the same, which involves coordinating human resources and focusing on high crime areas, ultimately increasing the chance of real-time intervention to crimes that are happening within the city of Harvey. There are several other agencies nationwide that have already implemented real-time crime centers that have seen a significant reduction in crime. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Next up is Fire Department.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. Great news with our fire engine. It's in Lincoln, Illinois. They're gonna bring it down tomorrow to take it to the shop so it can get the decals and the logo put on there. So we should take delivery either Thursday or Friday. Once we get that, we gotta do some in-service training, and we also have to mount some equipment in there. And once we have all that done, we'll have a ceremony, so we'll push that out to everybody so you can attend our ceremony. One of the things that of the Harvey Fire Department goals for 2025 is to promote education opportunities with our membership of the Harvey Fire Department. We have a generation gap of 14 years in between our senior guy and the lowest member on our department. And the way we're gonna fill that gap is through education. My chief officer are taking classes, which is a trickle-down effect, which is making all our members start taking classes. Myself and my deputy chief, who is scheduled to go down to the National Fire Academy to attend fire courses. President Trump changed all of that, so he canceled all the classes at the National Fire Academy. We had people that were scheduled to go to training class yesterday, and he canceled this on Friday. So it's a trickle-down effect that the fire service began to feel from President Trump. With our shift commanders, they are taking classes also, which has influenced our members on the bottom to continue to take classes. The classes range from basic company officer all the way to advanced firefighter. And these classes are free at the Oil and Fire Protection. And yes, our members are taking full advantage of it, because now what you're gonna have is not only gonna have experienced firefighters with education, now you're gonna have highly trained personnel that will continue to provide services to our residents. So that's in my report, man.
Thank you. Next, we have Public Works.
Good evening, everyone. As we all know, to run a successful community, it takes great teamwork from all levels of leadership. Proper planning, critical thinking, clear communication, well thought out financial planning, and resident feedback. And much more, are all crucial to achieve our shared goal. When we last left off, I discussed several key points that the Public Works Department was taking task of in 2025. These goals are areas of improvement we're in training for our employees. Residents complain response time and property maintenance throughout the city. Since then, the department has continued to improve in these areas. Tonight, I'd like to give you just a few highlights in the last 4 months. As it relates to training, since our last meeting, the department has several of our employees who receive training for the importance of requesting Julies before digging And in April, the department will be hosting its first training in conjunction with the Illinois Department of Transportation on chainsaw safety and usage. Employees participating will receive certificates for their class. Providing training opportunities such as these better prepare our employees for the tasks they do daily. Furthermore, the onset of your yearly seasonal labor program hiring, which began last week, we will have the knowledge and know-how to pass on to our new hires in hope of retaining better informed employees who care to provide their services that residents need. And next, I'd like to talk about the expansion of our team with the addition of the Gulf pilot compliance officers that we've hired. We're able to see amazing results in turnaround time regarding residents' complaints and response. These efforts have been invaluable in addressing residents' complaints, particularly when it comes to illegal dumping. Through their hard work, we've seen a significant decrease in response time, allowing us to serve you all better. Currently, there are approximately 20 complaints addressed daily from just our Gulf Pilot website alone. Our compliance officers have written anywhere from 10 to 12 violations per day, and we have purchased cameras to place throughout the city for heavy dumping areas. With the help of Lonnie from the building department, our officers are currently taking classes for building codes and ordinances and ticket writing using DACA, D-A-C-A. While we know there is much more work to be done here, we are proud of the program made so far by our employees with the assistance of our residents. We've also made strides in facility maintenance under the supervision of Zyshawn Jenkins. The department has been successful in securing approximately 50 abandoned properties throughout the city. That means boarding them up, securing them, making it a little bit more difficult for people to squat or break in. Working alongside with the maintenance supervisor is Terrence Taylor. We are not able to clean up these properties, but also remove the debris and overgrowth that has been a concern for both safety and appearance. I just want to let you all know that Terrence has had his group out there from November to the present. Doesn't matter what the temperature was, he was out there cutting. If you ride around, yes, you'll see a bunch of tree debris all through the city, but that's what they're doing. They're clearing out all the vacant lots, making it look where we can see clearly. And I'm just so proud of them for not using the weather as an excuse to get this job done. But also, we have continued to remove trash around the city from illegal dumping. We have repaired so far 32 streets with potholes repairs. Taken inventory on the Phase 3 signs, missing street signs. So far to date, we've exchanged 53 signs that had to be replaced, or we had to order signs to repair them. But our last objective is to successfully complete a comprehensive inventory of lead lines, and I'm glad Ms. Davis touched on it earlier. We need the residents' help on this project to identify the houses that have the lead program so we can get an accurate number moving forward with this. We're starting to collect data beginning this month. There will be a major task and we'll need assistance, once I said, from our residents, but the department will be sending clear, informative notices to all the residents requesting access to their homes for the line inspection so we can basically acknowledge if you have a lead line or not. The main goal of our department is to ensure that we address issues and carry out our responsibilities in a timely manner, whether it's maintaining our streets, ensuring a clean water system, properly training all of our employees, and meeting the needs of all of our residents. We are committed to delivering these essential services with efficiently and care. I want to thank everybody for their time.
Thank you. Next is Economic Development.
Hello, good evening, Mayor, council members, and residents. I'm glad to be here. My name is Cesar Suarez. I serve in economic development and also the planner for the city. And wanted to share with you the key goals that we have in economic development: grow jobs and investment, build quality of life, market the city, and partner with stakeholders. That's our goals here. And this evening, I want to focus on one thing called build quality of life in the area of housing. And I wanted to share with you what we've been doing and what we plan to do. And the goal is really to develop a comprehensive housing program. And here are the reasons why. If you didn't know, certainly you should and find that the city itself has a lot of assets. We have 430 properties that we own that we consider to be surplus. That means we have no use for them now or in the future. Okay, so we have 430 of those properties. And then when I mean property, I mean PINs, property identification numbers. We've also did studies before and found out there's about 490 privately owned structures that are considered abandoned. They're vacant, they're unsafe, and they're also delinquent in water and taxes. And we're going to go after them as well to really redevelop them. We have about 2,000 vacant lots and also abandoned structures throughout the city. So what does that mean when you look at all the statistics? It means there's a lot of great opportunity for redevelopment. And so what is the comprehensive housing development program? It's about redevelop the abandoned structures. And redevelopment, that means it's a big investment in one building, where you almost have to do an entire redo on the property and use it from its structure. So that's one thing, is redevelop. Another one is rehab. Rehab is just doing some minor improvements on the exterior. Would be, let's say, windows, doors, siding, and roof. That's what I call rehab. And then the other third component is repurposing. There's a lot of vacant land that we can repurpose as side yards, as new construction, new single-family homes, and also demolish them to do the same. So again, redevelop, rehab, and repurpose is what we want to do with our properties. So what have we done so far? Well, the strategies that we're going to employ is one, is really put together a selling structure, a system to sell these properties. And we put that in place, and I'll share with that. We also want to take these abandoned private properties and convey them to developers. And so we're going to do that via judicial deed. We also want to do, when we do all of this, the whole idea is to encourage home ownership. And so we're going to be about doing that. Hence, you heard today, our second workshop is going to be March 29th for a home ownership workshop. And if you're looking to, if you've been renting a lot, it'd be great to see you be a homeowner if you're excited about that, as we are. We also want to encourage developers. There's a lot of people out there who are skilled in building properties, but they may not be skilled in the legal aspects and the financing aspects. And we want to really encourage developers. And then we also want to build funds, making sure that certainly there's always gaps and missing money to make all this happen. So we want to build redevelopment funds. So what have we done thus far? Here we are, here below. Well, we've actually developed a 7-step process. We put together several lists. We have 5 industrial sites that we have specifications on, 9 commercial properties. We've actually qualified the list for developers and made it easy for them to find these properties. That is one of the toughest things it is to get these properties into good hands, is finding them, and we made it easy for them. And so we've also mapped them out, and if anyone say, where do you get all this? We developed a one-stop shop on our website called City Properties. You go to our city website, type in City Properties, you'll look it up, and everything there to really find properties for you, and then we take you through step 1 through 7 about how we can then work with and partner with developers and residents to turn that property, whatever it is, into something useful to, again, redevelop, rehab, or repurpose that lot that you identify, that anyone identifies. Again, homeowner workshop, we have March 29th, and we're also looking to develop a workshop for developers, and right now we have a tentative date of April 10th, in the process of getting that organized as well. So we're really excited. It's a great opportunity to really, again, take these, develop a comprehensive housing development program. And so what is needed on March 28th at the next City Council meeting, we'll have several items there for you to vote on and to make sure that we can then move these programs along. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have the building department.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, community leaders, and residents. My name is Lonnie Harrison, and I am Director of the Building and Planning Department. One of our key goals for 2025 is to address an issue that affects all of us, which is blighted properties in our community. Blighted structures are more than just abandoned buildings. They are a burden on our city's growth and prosperity. They decrease property values and attract crime and discourage investment in our neighborhoods. They take away the beauty and potential of Harvey, making it hard for us to move forward as a thriving community. However, we have a plan to tackle this issue head on. Through targeted programs and strategic partnerships, we can revitalize and restore pride in our city. One key resource is the Community Development Block Grant Program, which provides funding to improve infrastructure and housing conditions. We are actively researching other municipality relief grants and programs which will help us demolish and rehabilitate neglected buildings, reducing safety hazards. Through our efforts, we will intervene in properties that have fallen in despair, ensuring they do not continue to negatively impact surrounding homes and businesses. These efforts are not just about removing blight, they are about bettering our community. By leveraging these resources, we can assist our economic development department. We will create safer streets, and Harvey will become a place where families and businesses want to stay and grow. We ask for your continued support in these initiatives because together we can turn blight into opportunity and move Harvey forward. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Next is the Communications Department.
Good evening. I'm excited to announce the return of our Community Solutions meetings. These meetings are all for direct engagement between residents and city leadership. The first one is scheduled for March 31st from 6 to 8 p.m. here at City Hall, and I want to personally invite each of you to attend. These town hall style meetings are all about transparency and information, and here you have the opportunity to ask questions and get answers about the issues that matter most to you, share concerns, stay informed. You can learn about upcoming projects, new initiatives, and what's happening in your city, and you can work together. These events aren't just for talking, they're for finding solutions and for making progress together. On March 31st, you'll hear from the mayor and have the chance to participate in an open discussion. This is a two-way conversation, and your input helps shape the decisions that impact our community. We encourage you to attend because we are committed to building a stronger, more connected community, and these town halls are a big step toward that goal. So mark your calendars. Again, that's Monday, March 31st from 6 to 8 p.m. And let's start a conversation that moves our city forward. As always, you can find information about the city and our activities on our social channels, such as our Facebook page and YouTube channel, and our website at www.cityofharveyil.gov. We look forward to seeing you at our next Community Solutions meeting, and that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is the Water Department.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Maria. During the month of February, my efforts remain to eliminate estimated water meter readings. Currently, we have 2,300 properties that have smart meters. The goal is to have smart meters installed in all city properties and chip away at the manpower needed for manual readings. Doing so brings us closer to our goal of modernizing the system and improving services for the entire community. Additionally, I have been working to develop a water bill layout that will just be a new look, but it just will not be a new look, but it will be an easy routine for all customers, an easy outline for all customers to follow. Let me put my glasses on. But it will be easy outline for all customers to follow so they can clearly understand all billing content, deadlines, and messaging. The water building redesign project is critical to ensure that there are no transparency gaps and improve our overall building delivery. Equally as important, I like to encourage residents to take advantage of our multiple payment options. Currently, per a recent audit, we have 1,600 residents taking advantage of the e-billing. This means they receive their monthly billing via email and make payments online, and I strongly encourage others to enroll. However, for those residents that are not comfortable using computers, there is an option of paying your bill over the phone by calling 844-916-1487. Realizing some of our residents love technology, there's even an option for Google and Apple Pay. These payments options have been made available on our website for your convenience and encourage timely payments. As always, the primary goal for the water department is to provide a more reliable, efficient, and customer-friendly water service for all residents. This concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. And next we have our Senior Services Department.
Good evening, everybody. To the mayor, and to the city council, and the administration, and the public. My name is Joseph Whittington Jr. I'm the Director of Senior Services here in Howard, Illinois. At our last city council meeting on February the 10th, I shared some of my personal goals for our Senior Service Department. Today, I would like to give you an update on my progress as well as share the meetings that we were held supporting those goals. I participated in 3 focus groups for seniors concerning their needs to be active, independent, and informed about wellness issues. This focus group will meet twice a month. Secondly, I attended 3 business meetings to discuss ways to help seniors become tech savvy. The goal would be to help them navigate electronic devices. Third, I'd like to we created a volunteer committee to assist me in expanding the department's outreach base for governmental outreach services for seniors. I connected with the Cook County Clerk's Office concerning property after death, estate planning, and started working on workshop scheduling for Wednesday, May the 21st, for which the city will host. I would like to express that it's important that seniors attend this meeting. I would encourage everyone to get the word out for me. We need property after death. Estate, that's the object of making wills. Estate planning. I noticed that majority of the seniors have not done that. And that's a big problem for them. Wives losing their husbands, or kids move to another state, and no one ever thinks about that until death comes. I would like to ask that the seniors or the residents here will share that information to attend that meeting on May the 21st. In addition, we successfully hosted one bingo event with 17 attendants, 8 line dancing activities with 8 participants, 1 swag singers with attitude of gratitude with 25 attendants, This is one of the coldest days we had last month, and people came out. Seniors wanted to exercise, to be around friends, to socialize. What we discovered in the senior services is socializing. Too often we tend to figure that all we have to do is retire and look at Jerry Springer. When there's other things to do in the city, as I said earlier, activities. We are now talking, I have some of the seniors here that's on the advisory board to help me plan a future for us, not like the one that they think that we should have, but the one we want. That ends my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe. We will also have a report from our Department of Revenue.
Good evening, Mayor, Department Administration, staff, residents. My name is Charles Moore. I'm the new city collector. My vision for all departments is to communicate under one umbrella to support the Department of Revenue. Is to support the Department of Revenue to get a collection process to reduce deficits. This is a time-sensitive matter. My goals are to minimize financial exposures and maximize revenue recoveries. I would like to ensure timely collections with the city taxes and tickets to maintain a positive cash flow. My accomplishment in 30 days since I've been here, I've completed 88% of collections in excise taxes, hotels, and motel tax, from 120 days out to a net 30. We need payments monthly, not quarterly, not when you can come in and do it. That's how we gain revenue. My emails, my letters, my face-to-face sit-downs, and avoid complaints and fines and penalties. After sitting down with Public Works, listening to their efforts and massive line cleanup to 42 abandoned properties and vacant lots, Public Works handed over me 43 invoices. Labor and equipment charges totaling $21,414. In 1 week, I was able to locate 27 owners via skip tracing and other resources. I also spoke to 10 owners and recouped $4,980 by scheduling walk-in payments this month. That concludes my report, but I will work diligently hard to get the revenue back. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is mayoral comment. I want to thank our department heads for their report. Specifically, looking forward to the homeowner workshop on March 29th. And I would encourage each and every one of you to participate in it as well. If you have no interest, please tell someone else who may have an interest to do so. I'm also very proud, of course, what we did today with our police department. The police department is constantly getting better, as well as all of our other departments, so I'm very grateful for that. Please keep in mind, this will be the third time I think that it's been mentioned. We will have a citywide cleanup, so pay attention to the newsletters, to your water bills, pay attention to your alderpersons, look online. Of course, I'm pretty sure it'll probably be on one of the Facebook pages at some point in time, so please pay attention to that as well. It's funny because the fire chief mentioned something about the National Fire Academy being canceled under this current federal administration. And those are the things that we really need to be talking about, because those are the issues that really impact us. And as a community that does not have a lot of the resources that other more affluent communities have, something that's just as simple as canceling that academy has a serious impact on our city. So we need to start recognizing those true facts. And as it was said earlier, to stop focusing, majoring in the minors, and stop focusing on those things that don't move us forward. Many of the things that I hear as a mayor, I have to honestly say, don't put food on anybody's table, okay, and it doesn't put money in anybody's pocket. And when we are going through the challenges that we're going through, especially at this point in time during our federal administration, as a family, when families have to deal with serious issues, they come together. If anybody saw the movie, Soul Food, when Big Mama passed, everybody had to put on the big britches and get it together so they can take care of the family business. So that's what family does. And those are the things that we need to do. And after everything is great, okay, if y'all want to go ahead, y'all feel like y'all just have to because it's in your spirit to want to fight, well, I guess that would be okay too. But I hope that you wouldn't. But what I'm here to put a comment on today is basically one of those issues that seem to stop us from moving forward. And that basically is talking about the comptroller and the treasurer here in the city of Harvey. Now, many times I hear where someone will say that we have not had a report, or that this administration has stopped the current treasurer from being able to make a report. And it is important that those reports are made, and it's important that we have that financial transparency. But what I also believe is that many times people don't have the full knowledge or scope of what's supposed to be taking place in the city of Harvey. So instead of me just talking about how I feel about it, I figured we'd let the presentation speak for itself. Now, for those who may be watching from outside, there's a warning. The following may or may not apply to your municipality. So if you're not sure of your municipal laws, please seek your municipal code or see your municipal attorney. So let's talk about the comptroller, treasurer, and the City of Harvey Municipal Code. Starting off with the City of Harvey Municipal Code, we have to get the first thing established, and that is the mayor. As you can see, as it reads, the mayor, in addition to the duties, powers, and functions vested by him by statute, as the chief executive officer of the city. I'll repeat that, the mayor is the chief executive officer of the city, and those specifically vested in him by provisions of this code shall have the authority to act to designate an officer who shall act in the enforcement of ordinance of the city in cases where the ordinance fails to specify the officer who shall be charged with the duty of the enforcement. Now, within that executive duty, there's an executive department. These are taken directly from our municipal codes. And at the top, you see where it says the particular code. An executive department is hereby established within municipal government of the city, designated as the finance department. So at some point in time, actually it looks like it was 1995 when you look down at the bottom, people before me decided that they were going to designate a finance department, and that this department would include the offices of the city comptroller and the city treasurer, and any assistance to the comptroller as may be allocated by the annual appropriations ordinance. So as we move on, our code starts to tell you a little bit about what the comptroller is supposed to do. So it says that the comptroller is elected, but before we go there, now we're skipping a little bit, because this goes back to Illinois statute and not just the municipal code for the city of Hardee. This is Illinois statute. It says if a comptroller is elected or appointed in a municipality, the corporate authorities by ordinance or resolution may confer upon the comptroller the powers and provide for the performance of the duties that the corporate authorities deem necessary and proper. This is what the state code says, the state statute says. So if we go back to the city of Hardee code, the city of Hardee in 1995, once again, well before this administration, said, there is created the office of the city comptroller, who shall be head of the Department of Finance and shall have management and control of all matters and things pertaining thereto. The comptroller shall be appointed by the mayor, by and with the advice and consent of the city council. This was in 1995. The comptroller shall be the fiscal agent of the city, and as such shall be charged with and shall exercise general supervision over all officers of the city charged in any manner with the receipt, collection, or disbursement of city revenues, and all funds required to be in the custody of the city treasurer. So basically, whatever monies or funds that were supposed to come in, that were supposed to go to the treasurer, the comptroller, as the fiscal agent of the city, has general supervision over all of that. Comptroller also got some additional duties as well. Contracts, judgment orders, notes, bonds, evidence of indebtedness belonging to the city. All of these things were basically put into our code somewhere in 1995. He shall have the authority to execute in the name of the city all necessary releases of claims, settlements, which have been legally authorized. All of these things are in our code. And all of the provisions of this code relating to the powers and duties of the municipal court in connection with the finances, the treasurer, the collector, and the receipt and disbursements of money shall be exercised and performed by the comptroller if one is elected or appointed. So what have we learned so far? Well, we've learned one, that the mayor is the chief executive of the city. Two, under the mayor, there is an executive office called the Finance Department. Three, that Finance Department includes two primary people, the comptroller and the city treasurer. Now, the comptroller is the head of the Finance Department. I'll repeat that because sometimes people are saying that the treasurer is the head of the department. No, according to our code, the comptroller is the head of the Finance Department. And the comptroller is the city's fiscal agent and thus exercises general supervision over all officers that receive, collect, and disburse city revenues, including the city treasurer. The comptroller also has the ability to exercise the duties of the treasurer. So in the event there's an annual report that needs to be done, that has to be done and turned into the state every year. If the treasurer decides not to do that part of the treasurer's job, then the comptroller can do that if necessary. To be clear, the comptroller has general supervision over the city treasurer. So, now that we know everything that we know, now that we have at least an idea of how this works from a municipal code standpoint, not from what I feel or what somebody else feels, but from what the code says, now that we know what we know, what next? There's still some things that we need to figure out. And if you just give me a little bit more time, not much, we'll go through it. So, with all that being said, on August 26th of last year, the city treasurer did attempt to provide a report to the city council, which is what's supposed to happen. But at that particular time, prior to providing the report, the council voted for the treasurer to do the following things. First, that the treasurer shall submit a report to the comptroller for review and accuracy. Now that's extremely important because we don't want the comptroller saying one thing as far as the finances are concerned and the treasurer saying another thing as far as the finances are concerned. We have a lot of things that we have to deal with here in the city of Hartley. Besides the fact that we're currently working on catching up with our audits, which we should be caught up sometime soon, but we also have to address other issues as far as our bondholders, as far as people who we are in debt to. So we have to make sure that those numbers reconcile with each other. So the comptroller can't be saying one thing and the treasurer saying another. And so the council, the city council, instructed the treasurer to submit the report to the comptroller for review and accuracy. Second, that the review report is supposed to be submitted to the finance committee. So first, submitted to the comptroller for review and accuracy, and then second, to submit it to the finance committee. And all of this shall be done prior to bringing any report to the full city council. That's what was voted on in August of 2024. Now, why is this important? Well, primarily, once again, the city is trying to get together its financial house, trying to get that financial house in order. And it's extremely important. With many of the things that we have going on, some of the things that you've heard from the department heads, we need to make sure that financial house is in order if we're going to start to, say for instance, apply for more of those grants, receive more of those grants, do the reporting for those things. We need to make sure that that financial house is in order. I, as the chief executive officer, and the guy who are primarily responsible for making sure that that stuff is done. And believe you me, I'm putting foot in back in order to make sure that happens. And I have no reservations to do it. But at the same time, we need to make sure that that reporting reconciles because it's good for our auditing and our bond purposes, to name a few. But since that time, the treasurer, after being instructed by the city council, has not submitted any reports to the comptroller. Thus, those reports were not forwarded to the finance committee. So, of course, as you see, it says thank you. And this really isn't, and I also want to say, we could probably sit up here and start attacking each other as far as that's concerned. And I'm pretty sure some people will have their own opinions as far as what it is or what it isn't. The only thing that I'm trying to do is show you exactly what our code says. Okay, at the same time, trying to give you a better understanding when you hear people get up and talk about the city as if there is something nefarious going on financially because there's no treasurer report. There's nothing nefarious going on here. Bottom line is there's a process that needs to be followed and that process has not been followed. And so what we want to do and what we hope to see in the future is we hope to see that process followed. We hope to see the comptroller, and I am going to instruct and make sure the comptroller works together with the treasurer to try to make sure that those reports are produced and that they are presented to you. But I want to make sure you understand how it works. So thank you very much for listening, and I appreciate your time. And like I said, I'm sure some people will have some comments to it, but don't worry. When I say third world alderwoman, they'll be all right. So, now, that being the case, if there is nothing else for the good of the order, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by the sixth, second by the first. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it. It is 8:26, and we stand adjourned. Thank you.